welcome to Vicious Cycle, the podcast about periods and the people who get them. I am Kate,
Meg H,
and Meg T.
And today we're taking your phone calls because we've been asking you guys to call our hotline, 9106 uterus.
9106 uterus.
8777 cars for kids.
Damn it, Meg. Come on. We asked you guys to call in about your first periods, and we got a bunch of phone calls. So thanks so much to everyone who called in. Honestly, it felt like every time we got a phone call, I would get the alert, and it felt like that same feeling when like your friend gives you a tampon in time of need. It was this really sweet feeling.
Sisterhood.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into it. Here is our first phone call.
Yay.
Hi there, my name is Nadine, and my first period story, I was maybe like 13 or 14, and I was at a friend's house, and I went to the restroom, and I pulled down my underwear, and I looked at my underwear, and it was full of blood, and I freaked out. I was just like, what the hell is going on? And my friend, she had already gotten her period, so I had literally had no idea what to do. So I went to her, and I was like, Liz, I just got my period. What do I do? So she hands me a pad, and she's like, here, put this on. And so I open the pad. I go back in the bathroom. I open the pad, and I see, like, you know, I have, like, the sticky part and then the cotton part. And I, like, went back out, and I asked my friend, I'm like, does the sticky part go up or like, does it stick to the underwear? I'm confused. And she's like, are you a moron? You put the sticky part on your underwear. Anyway, and I just remember that so vividly because I was literally confused about the entire situation. And I was so nervous that I had to go home and tell my mom and, you know, all of the things. And so anyway, that was my first period story. It sucked. And that was it. Okay, bye.
Oh,
Nadine! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
I was prepared, so I didn't have that problem. I always knew where the sticky part went. But, like, absolutely, if no one gave you the heads up.
Yeah. And I love in that phone call how, like, she knew it was her period, but she didn't know what to do.
Right.
She knew it existed, but after that, I don't know what to do.
And she said it was filled with blood. I wonder if it was brown or red.
Probably was brown, as we've talked about.
Discussed.
Please call in if your first period was bright red. I would be
Yeah.
fascinated.
Has anyone ever worn a pad and it does the sticky wings part kind of gets in your pubic hair?
Yes.
Thank
worst.
God, I'm a tampon user now.
I'm
I feel
already
like
writing this song.
I was waxing myself every time I went to the bathroom.
It's the fucking worst.
Oh my God. I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. Tampons have been like too much for me recently because my periods have been so light, so I've been like dabbling back in pads. It's not one thing I miss. I'm like, fuck my pubic hair.
Yeah, like the wings, they don't go around the bottom. I don't know.
They
Who
get all
knows?
rolled around.
Yeah.
And,
They need to figure this science out.
Read my labias.
Yeah,
Honestly.
hey.
Also, does anybody know Nadine?
Yeah, that's my coworker. My past coworker.
Nadine, you are the best.
I love you,
And
Nadine.
you're not a moron.
Yeah.
Well. All right, let's do phone call number 2.
Hey, this is Gina, your friend Gina Cullen, with her first period story. My first period, when I was 13, I was at a friend's house, and her mom was a nurse, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I pulled down my pants in the bathroom, and I was like, and she ran to get her mom, and her mom came and gave me a tampon, but I didn't know what to do with it, because I'd never really had the talk or anything. I mean, I knew what a period was. I didn't think I was dying, but so she handed me the tampon, and I kind of just put it between my vaginal lips, like it was a pad, and the string was hanging out the front. And I thought, I don't know why people think tampons are so hard to get in. Like, that was so easy. I don't know why people don't like tampons. And then I came home, and I told my mom that I had my period, and then she was like, oh, you know, what, did she give you a pad? And I said, she gave me a tampon, and my mom was kind of freaked out that I'd used a tampon because I was not ostensibly a virgin, I was a virgin. So she went and got me a pad and then saw what I had done and laughed hysterically and then explained to me the difference between pads and tampons. Also, I used to use pads as Barbie doll beds, but I think everybody did that. Okay, bye. Love all of you.
Gina! Oh my God. If you guys
Gina,
didn't
we
catch
love you.
that last part, she said she used pads as Barbie doll beds. I feel like I wasn't having my period at the same time I was doing Barbies, but that is a great idea.
Kate, no judging. Okay?
I'm just saying personally.
Some
I never
13-year-olds like to play with Barbie.
I never put two and two together.
My brothers used to use my mom's tampons as like GI Joe weapons.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
So they'd pull them out of the applicators
Oh
and then
my
like
gosh.
rah, 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 rah.
Well, I love the
Wow.
theme of those two calls of like not knowing what to do with the thing that your
Yes.
friend gives you.
I think I would have passed out if someone handed me my tampon on my first go.
I would have
Passed
been like, yes,
the
I know what to
fuck
do with
out.
this, and then just bled through everything.
Yeah.
That is
Oh, so good.
hilarious.
So
just,
good.
Just tucking it right in there, probably horizontal. There we go.
Nested in your lips.
Comfortable.
Did she specify what that visual was? If it was just like
vaginal lips.
And then like with the string coming out the front, she said.
fantastic.
Great. All right, caller number 3.
Hey, this is Genevieve, Megan's little sister, Shannon's ginger best friend. So my first time period story, I believe was in the Denver International Airport. I was with my dad and brother, and I went to the bathroom and saw some blood, and I was like, I'm dying. What do I do? I'm in the bathroom stall. I can't talk to somebody who's next to me. And then I kind of pieced the pieces together. I think I was like, 13 or 14. So then I was like, crap, I'm starting my period. I'm a woman. This is weird. And I didn't feel comfortable telling my dad or talking to him about this. I didn't have any pads or tampons whatsoever. So back then we had those pay phones still. And I probably had an absurd amount of quarters on me for some reason. And I just remember wasting at least $5 in quarters trying to call my mom. And every time the phone said, like, out of order. And I don't know why. I just kept on trying. I think I was just, like, super scared and nervous. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if this was normal. So then I went to my woman sisters, the flight stewardess, at the front desk, and I was like, I think I started my period and I don't know what to do. And she just like looked so shocked. And I remember her like whispering to her partner that she has to go take care of something. And then for some reason, she not only brings me, but she brings 2 of her flight stewardess, like, girlfriends. And they all go with me into the bathroom, and they are like, okay, well, do you have any quarters for a tampon? And I was like, no, I wasted them all on a payphone. And they were like, okay. So they actually, like, used their money. And I think they got me a ginormous pad, and it's like a huge pillow, but like something you put in your underwear. It was super weird. And they gave it to me, and they, shut my stall door, and 3 of them were standing outside the stall door, and they're like, okay, so like take off that little lining. And they were like coaching me through everything, and it made me feel really supported. And I just couldn't thank them enough. But then, yes, I walked out of that bathroom stall. I wasn't going to bleed everywhere. And I was just so thankful for them.
Wow.
I am crying. I'm so moved. That is the
Meg
sweetest
can confirm Meg
I've
is crying.
ever heard. I'm just like, ugh. That is so sweet.
Amazing is that story?
But hold on. It's amazing, but it's so also heartbreaking because she went up to strangers rather than her father.
Family. Yeah. Yes, I just want to hug you.
I'm glad that those ladies stepped up and took care of her.
And they went as a group. Oh, it just breaks my
Let's
heart.
make a pact right here and now that if a strange young girl ever approaches us, we will help her out in her time of bleed.
Carry
We will travel in packs of 3
time
and
of
coach
bleed.
young women in the restroom.
Okay, so I just love this idea that she's gone for a long time in the bathroom, paying $5 in quarters.
Why
to
does she have
call
that
her
many
mom.
quarters?
forgot
Also,
that.
was she just
Hilarious.
at an arcade or something?
I forgot that's also part of the narrative. And she spent like a half hour trying to use an out of order
call her
phone.
mom.
God bless her.
And then after all that time, then like walks up to the the like,
counter.
counter. And like, what is her dad doing? Is he just watching this all happen, being like, what are these
3 women going into the bathroom with
my
daughter?
Hi guys, it's Nadia. I'm here to tell you about my first period. Okay, so it was between summers of 6th and 7th grade. I was about to go into middle school. I was stoked. My best friend had her first boyfriend, and he had all of these little guy friends that he would bring over to my house so that we could play basketball with the hoop that was over my garage. And later I realized that a lot of boys used me for that hoop. But anyway, while we were playing, I felt like I was peeing my pants, and I was like, why? I never do this. And I thought I had some sort of accident that like a 3-year-old would have. And so I was just like, so I ran inside. And when I looked in my underwear, there was like this like brown, thick substance. And in health class, I learned that it was blood that comes out in your period and that it was red because that's what the normal color of blood is. And I totally freaked out. So I thought something was wrong with me. And I called my sister from her room into the bathroom. And I was like, dude, I don't know what's going on. And she's like, oh my God, you got your period. And so she set me up with a pad because my family doesn't believe in tampons because they're Mexican and Catholic, and I guess that's like a thing. Penetration. Anyway, so my sister was super nice, and I told her, please, don't tell anybody because I have friends outside. Like, we're taking a long time. I don't want them to think that I'm pooping or something, but like it would be worse if it was my period. And she was like, sure, because I felt so much shame, which is so sad. But my sister ended up calling my mom at work, and my mom ended up telling all of my family. I got phone calls and greeting cards and, like, congratulations gifts from all of my aunts in Mexico and Texas in multiple languages. My sister was also stationed in Afghanistan. She was in the Air Force, and she called me from Afghanistan to be like, congratulations, you're a woman now. And in my gut, I just felt so embarrassed and like exposed to be called like a woman and to have gotten my period and to have everybody know. But I guess it was just because back then it was like super shameful and we were, separated in health class from boys and girls. Like I wish that it had been a little more of an inclusive thing so I wouldn't feel so terrified.
Nadia. Oh my God. I want to see some of those period gifts that you got.
Yeah. I would love to. I hope you held on to those greeting cards. Oh my God.
That's also pretty beautiful. Everyone's just like, congratulations, big day, because I don't think that's typical
not
of every
normal.
family.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Also, it's brown.
It's brown.
It's
It's brown.
Hey now.
Oh
It's
my
brown.
God.
Also, I love the tampon, not giving her a tampon because of their Catholic.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that is a thing.
That's something I've been holding on to when we like talk about tampons versus pads. But my mom was like, just wait till after you have sex to use tampons.
I don't think my parents ever had to have that conversation with me. Truly terrified of anything phallic. No, thank you.
This is Kaina, and I got my first period when I was 13, like in the middle of 8th grade, and at that point, it felt like every single young woman I knew had already gotten their periods, and I felt like I was never going to get it. And I just kept, I was, on the toilet looking at this pad, and it was just covered in this beautiful scarlet, just the purest red of red. And I stared at it for so long because I thought, oh my gosh, this is so incredible. I am part of the womanhood now. This is something that every woman goes through, and now I'm here, and it felt really connecting and amazing and beautiful. And I kept staring at the blood. I just thought oh, this is so cool how our bodies work, and mine's working right. And this is so, I don't know how anyone could get tired of feeling so proud and honored by this beautiful blood. And I didn't understand why people would be horrified by it or annoyed or any of that. But by my second period, I quickly realized why it was annoying and awful, and I don't want a pad. I want to just plug it up with a tampon. Didn't want to look at the blood anymore. That's my story, my first time.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh.
That is amazing.
Twist ending.
Yeah. God, M. Night Shyamalan over there.
That was so funny. You guys, during that whole phone call, we were just cracking up, laughing at the like woo-woo, like love of your period. By the way, that was our friend Kaina, who's actually behind the band that did our theme song, The Go Ahead. So thanks, Kaina.
Check them out.
Check them out. TheGoAheadMusic.com. Oh, what a story.
Oh my god.
And she said her blood was scarlet.
Scarlet. She's debunked our entire theory.
She said the purest red of red.
How
was like,
beautiful.
so
The most
poetic.
I definitely
Scarlet.
connect with Kaina in being one of the last to get my periods.
Yeah, I like that of like people being like, wait a minute, where's mine?
Yeah.
God, I was like definitely one of the first. I got mine so early.
Yeah.
I didn't ever think that people would be envious of it. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kaina.
It's more just like a feeling of being normal versus abnormal, right? When you're a teen, you just want to be the same as everyone.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Molly Salyer, and I am calling to tell you my first period story. I grew up in San Francisco, and when I was 12, we went on a camping trip with my school, Horace Mann Middle School, and I had for some reason thought to bring pads with me. I had never had my period before, but I thought maybe it would happen, you know, at an inconvenient time, like when you're away at camp for a few days. I had kind of discovered that I started my period, and I had like 3 or 5 pads with me, and so I like, you know, worked my way through those pretty quickly. I think I probably changed my pad every, 15 minutes for the first day and was soon out of them. And I first remembered that the bathroom, was a girl's bathroom, but there was like there was like a space at the top of the wall that kind of had open air into the boys' bathroom. And so I could hear all the boys like talking on the other side, and I was convinced that they could hear me undoing my my pad wrapping and figuring it all out. So I was totally mortified, even though nothing actually embarrassing had happened. And when I ran out of pads, I ended up having to go find a teacher. And there was one teacher, Miss Mana, who was like the parent of one of the girls in my grade. And she was just kind of like more normal seeming than most of the other teachers, and was obviously a mom. So I went up to her while we were cleaning up for lunch, and I chatted with her about the problem, and she was totally mortified her own self because it hadn't occurred to any of the teachers that any of us would get our period. So they didn't have any pads, tampons were like completely out of the question for us at that age. And she was totally like trying to figure out what they were going to do for me because we were pretty far out, and it hadn't registered that they might have to worry about this for about 50 12-year-old girls.
I love that she had the wherewithal to pack pads even before she ever got her period. She was like, hey, it might happen.
But the teachers didn't have the wherewithal.
Right, yeah.
The 12-year-old planned better. Oh my God. If you had 50 12-year-olds, you should line your goddamn van with pads.
Yes. Also, I definitely remember going through pads like where I was like, it's got some blood on it. I'll replace it.
I think I was lazy at the
From the
get-go.
Age of 12. Yeah, I think now I keep pads in for like hours and hours.
Yeah. Days? Oh, I'm sorry, hours.
And that fear of the pad wrapper opening up and people hearing it. You know what? I wish I could go back in time and tell little Kate and all the little girls out there that boys don't know what the fuck is going on with you, and no one cares also. Like she was saying that she was scared boys would notice. Boys I don't even think they know what periods are till they're like 25. And also, I had so much anxiety about opening pads in the girls' stall. And if another girl, God forbid, would hear.
Right.
It's like,
no.
So much anxiety. Anyway, thanks, Molly.
Thanks, Molly.
I think this is the last one.
And shout out to Horace Mann Middle School.
Dang.
So early on, when I first started getting my period, I wasn't using tampons. I was using those pads. And I went to a party at a friend's house, and I had my period, and I was using a pad. And it was a great party, and, saw a lot of people, and was talking to a lot of people, and I went home, and I realized the pad wasn't there anymore. Where was it? Had it been attached to the back of my skirt all night? Did it get attached to the bathroom? Was it on the floor somewhere? Did I get up from a seat and it was there? I have no idea. And I was too mortified to ask anybody because then I would have claimed the gross thing. So I never know what happened to it, but I went to the party with one and I came back from the party without it.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I have a pit in my stomach.
That's as if someone actually showed up to school naked. Like, this is a nightmare that actually came true.
And I love that she didn't ask anyone because she's just like, nope, not
Smart
even going to claim
woman.
it. Yes.
That is a smart young woman.
Something like that happened to me once where I was wearing a dress. I was in college at like an outdoor festival. In San Francisco, we have a lot of outdoor festivals. And I was wearing a dress without underwear just because I think it was a dress where you could like see the panty line or whatever. But I had my period and I was wearing a tampon, and then all of a sudden I didn't have the tampon in anymore. And I was like, welp, it fell out at some point, and I was like wasted. You know, those it was I think it was the Love Parade, how they used to have that every year. Love Revolution, whatever. Like just a chance for let's be honest, a bunch of white girls to get naked, wasted
in public.
And I was, and my tampon just at some point fell out, and it's in the Civic Center somewhere.
Yeah. It's probably a tree now.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone that called in.
Oh my God, those were amazing.
Those were so
great stories.
Wonderful to hear. And just, that last story, that wasn't her first period story, but we now want to hear any period story you might have. Embarrassing, hilarious, scary.
Beautiful.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. If
touching.
you're some crazy person who loves your period, we want to hear it.
Or even if it's boring. I had a lot of friends and coworkers come up to me and say, oh, my first period story is so boring. And I said, hey, listen, there might be patterns. Like a lot of these phone calls we heard, they were with friends at the time, or like their friends had to tell them how to do it. Like even if it's boring to you, we want to hear it. First stories, embarrassing stories, just call us 910-6-UTERUS. And, on that note, I think we have another song for you guys.
Remember when we talked about cheating up with your pad? Meg's mom gave her great advice to cheat up with that feminine napkin so that you don't get a stain on your panties. We decided it was good advice, so we wrote a song about it.
Your eyes tell me that you feel bad. It happened to you again. You perioded again on your pants and also on your underpants. You incorrectly placed the pad. It's so annoying that you bled over your Calvins, you dummy.
You feel ashamed, you got a stain. You're 32, you've done this before, so you say no more.
You say no more. More than cheat up with your pad. Cheat up. Catch that blood.
Where
I've had that's big enough to double as a baby diaper. Cheat up with the pad. You had to throw away those panties. Cheat up because they filled way up with blood. It's brown. Those panties cost you $13.95 plus tax, girl. Cheat up with the pad.
Okay.
Wow.
So
it's
dumb.
better every time you
I
listen
love
to
it so much. It's so dumb.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry. That's right. I'm doing the outro. Thanks, you guys, so much for those of you who called in. Thank you, as always, for listening. Remember to find us on Instagram and Facebook, Vicious Cycle Podcast.
And make sure to listen next week when our whole episode is dedicated to cramps.
Keep calm.
And tampon.
It may be primal, it may be vital, but it makes you homicidal. It's a vicious, it's a vicious, it's a vicious cycle.
Our theme song was performed by The Go Ahead. Check out more at thegoaheadmusic.com.